Today we are covering our first ever Brazilian rebuild. We've had a lot of requests to do Brazil.
Yeah.
I think Santos is probably the best team for a rebuild.
Yeah.
They're still in the top league, but they're not doing so well. I think they finished.
I think
like
they're one of the
13th.
teams as well that if you know your football, you've heard about them.
Oh, definitely. I mean, some of the best players ever have come from Santos. One of the best ever, Pele.
Yeah.
And of course, Neymar.
Neymar started there. He
Santos
signed as a 15-year-old for Santos, which I was surprised. I didn't know that until I read the facts.
I remember when he burst onto the scene, there was like clips of him and he had stupid hair and was doing all these tricks, and it was like, who's going to sign him? And then, of course, he went to Barcelona.
Little fact, silly one this is, but it was interesting when I read it. They were formed in 1912 on the 14th of April, the day before the Titanic sank.
Really?
Yeah.
But they were the cause. That was it. Santos is born. There's an iceberg somewhere. Now, I actually was like, when I seen the Santos page, knowing how big their history is and how many competitions that they've won. I mean, if you look at their honors, like they've won so many different competitions around the world, and obviously from like continental and in Brazil. But their stadium is not as big as what I thought it would be.
When you just showed me just now, I was surprised at that. Yeah.
I thought, because obviously we see the crowds in Brazil.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big followed clubs, especially in the capital. Obviously, Santos not from the capital, but I thought there would be a bigger stadium than that.
Yeah.
But okay, fair enough. Now, I haven't made any transfers so far this season. We can see here the two signings that already come in on loan, and actually what I kind of made a little bit of a mistake is that this has gone back to the 7th of March. So we're basically replaying the season which just happened in real life, instead of starting the one which is just about to happen. And it's just because of like when you do the Brazilian league, you can choose what year. I just clicked the earlier one, not realizing it was 2022. So some of these obviously is going to be a little bit off unless you were to start right now and do from this season onward. But there we go. So they've actually lost a couple of players as well, some key players, the likes of Kaiki, who is a really good centre back. He moved to Almeria. Leo Batistao gone to the same club, and Mourinho as well, who was a good right winger for them, moved to Flamengo, who is pretty much the champions and the best team in Brazil at the minute. They've been winning the Copa Libertadores as well, alongside Palmeiras. So there's some big teams in Brazil. But another thing that's a little bit weird is the competitions.
Oh god, there's so many there, isn't
there is so many different competitions in Brazil. So forgive me if I say the name wrong or we look at something and it's not correct.
We're going to get loads wrong on this one.
I apologise. Brazilian, I might be quite good with the names, but the competitions I might get wrong. So you always come here for some mistakes. So to begin with, now this is the main competition, the main league, which starts on the 24th of April.
Right.
Now I have gone into the point where you can register players because I believe the transfer window is still open, but else I'd end up playing half the season. Because they don't really have a short window.
So we're just going to call that Serie A then, are we? See this?
Kind of. I don't really know. So the competition we're in right now, we'll take a look in a sec. But first off, we'll look at the tactics. So it's a very simple Santos Season 1. We've got a complete forward, winger on attack, inside forward on the right. It's so simple. It's unbelievable. Because a lot of their team right now just fits this, for one. But we don't know, with the fact of playing an awkward tactic or a different type of tactic, experimenting across such a long period of a season, it might really wear out the players. So what I'm doing right now is this is our best 11. We've got some really talented players up front. Now, Marcus Leonardo is a youngster, 18 years of age, and he's a starting player in that complete forward on attack. He's fantastic as well, really good potential on the game. Same as Angelo. He's only 17, but he's the starting right midfielder now that Mourinho has left. And on the left-hand side, we got the lonely Soltado, Jefferson, who is quite a good Colombian.
He's an old boy, isn't he?
Venezuelan, sorry. Yeah. I mean, you say he looks he's only 24.
Yeah,
he's 5'3". He's 2 inches taller than you, Dad.
Hey, I was taller than that.
Now, the rest of the side is not quite as good as what our front three suggest, but we do have some really good youngsters as well that we can rely on in the future. Obviously, Santos's youth academy is well known as being incredible, and we have some really good players in here. The likes of Jair at centre-back is a good wonder kid on this game that we possibly will be integrating into the team a little bit earlier than what we usually would for a 17-year-old, but he's almost ready.
Looking back over their history as well, when they had success again, a lot of the players moved on.
As they normally do,
yeah. As they do, yeah. So they had a lot of success, and then they would drop, and then it would build up again through the youth academy again, and drop again. So they're quite used to doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, very much a rebuild inside, aren't they? That's the tactic. Schedule-wise on how we have played so far, it seems like it's going okay, we've got to remember a lot of these teams are either experimenting themselves, not playing, or not signed all their best players because maybe they've just sold them. And maybe they don't really give a crap about this competition. I don't really know. Like, let me know in Brazil. Is this first competition, is this kind of just like pre-season friendly?
Yeah, because that Serie A, we've only got 2 games left in it, and then we changed to the other one now.
Yeah, so this Paulistão Serie A, I don't know, obviously, the exact translation, but I'm guessing it's kind of like a pre-season competition.
Yeah.
But we're winning it right now.
That's fair enough.
So 25 points. Yeah, whether it counts as like something really good, I don't know. The last time we won it was in 2016. This is our group, and obviously there's a few big names which aren't in it, like Flamengo and Palmeiras. The capital countries are not in this. Oh, Palmeiras is in it, sorry. So, but then you go into the main competition, and then everybody else is in it. I don't really know. Like, it's so complicated. This is the main competition, which is where you get relegated from up. There's a Red Bull team in there now.
Oh, just seeing that, I was going to mention that.
They've done quite well to get themselves promoted in the last couple of seasons.
You've got a couple of teams that call themselves Atletico as well.
Yeah,
so that's interesting as well. Getting
Paranaense,
Spanish connections.
Yeah, Mineiro. There's some really good teams in Brazil with some fantastic young players as well. So we'll find out how we do at the end of the season. Let's simulate the first season.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, first season, 4th place. Do you know what? I'll take that.
Yeah.
Flamengo are the best side in the league, as you can see, by 15 points. They've won it by a country mile. So they are champions of Brazil in whatever this competition is. So Santos in 4th place, 72 points. That's decent considering where they actually finished, which I believe was down in 13th maybe.
Right.
So the top 6, they go for the Copa Libertadores, the Champions League of South America.
Yeah.
The next 5 or 6 clubs, they go to the Copa Sudamericana, nailing off pronunciations. The Brazilians are going, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
They go to the Copa Sudamericana, which is the Europa League version. So you can finish 12th and then next season still win the Europa League version of South America. That's which I find is amazing. Not bad that we're in the
so they
big
got 4
competition.
go down then. Are they 4 come up?
4
That's
have gone
interesting
down,
as well, isn't
yeah.
it?
Out of the 20. So the opportunities are massive, but also the relegation is also big quite as well. So there's some big clubs that have gone down recently as well. Cruzeiro being one of them. They've gone down recently, who was a big club, and I think actually won it past like 2014. They're now relegated. Mental. So we've done quite well. 4th place, I will definitely take that. We only lost 8 games across the season against some of the teams that you'd expect us to beat, but some of the games, Palmeiras and Flamengo, where we've lost in the away legs there, 4-0, 1-0, we'll take it.
I see their goal difference, and I've noticed it's over 38 games, so that must be what they normally play of a season, because when Pelé signed in 1956, and he made his debut in 57, their 58 season was known as a record season, and I don't think it's been beaten yet. They actually scored 143 goals in 38 games. They only conceded 40 goals.
Wow.
And Pelé scored 58 of those goals.
Wasn't he like 16, 17?
Yeah, he just signed them, he's been there for 1 season.
Yeah.
But that was the same year as Brazil
World Cup
won the World Cup, which would have been Pelé's first World Cup that he'd won.
As a 17-year-old,
As a 17-year-old, yeah. And so that first season, a proper season for Pelé, wins his World Cup. He's got the record for the amount of goals in 1 season.
Yeah.
And his team gets the record amount of goals for a season as well. So what, I mean, goal difference, I don't think that'll ever be beaten.
No.
So what a record that is to have, isn't it, really?
Insane. Absolutely insane. Not bad. Let's have a look at other competitions then and see if we managed to win anything. Obviously, we were top in something. Now, right, let's have a look. So, quarterfinal in the Sudamericana, which is the Europa League.
Yep.
We got to the quarterfinals there. I'm curious to see who did win it. Independiente de Val, which is an Ecuadorian side. So, that's great for them that they've managed to win that. Quarter-final against Vasco da Gama in another cup, which is Mineiros managed to win. Now, this one, was this the one that we were winning to begin with? So we finished in second in that.
It was just cover of the death then.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. We lost only 2 games in that competition. Marcus Leonardo got the top goal scorer. I think that's a great season to start off with.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, Marcus Leonardo, he was our top scorer of the whole season after 55 games, 37 goals. Fantastic for a 19-year-old, 18/19. We got our centre midfielder there coming through with 20 goals, centre midfielder on attack. And on the right-hand side, Angelo, already wanted at 17 years of age, 13 goals and 10 assists. And on the left-hand side, Jefferson Salcedo, who is going to be leaving less. We managed to secure him on a permanent.
That's hell of a good. 4 players, you get in close to 70-odd goals. That's good, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to be happy with that.
Really good season so far. The only trouble is in Brazil is that although players cost a little bit of money now,
you don't
get given any money. So I noticed in Football Manager, especially in the last sort of like 5 to 10 years, players from Brazil are a little bit more expensive now, whereas in Argentina they are a lot cheaper still. But you don't get the budgets like the Brazilians do unless you make one of those big player sales, which obviously you don't really want to do because
you're selling your best player then, aren't you?
Exactly, and you have to do a rebuild within a rebuild. So we'll go forward season 2 and let's see what we can do in the transfer market. Okay, in the transfer market, I sold one player. That was Raniel to Gremio, who is a striker, 26. We didn't really play him last season. He was a little bit unhappy for the fact that we didn't use him. We only played him 1 game across the whole season. He didn't even score in that. Now, on the transfers on the ins, it doesn't look like we have signed anybody, but I have got a loan deal to bring somebody in on a permanent in Daniel Ruiz, who is a Colombian player, predominantly plays out on that left-hand side, but can play in the number 10 role should we need him to. He is joining on a permanent deal. He's good, he's young, he has decent potential as well on the game, and I think he'll suit our style of play. He's Colombian, so again, he's got that South American link, but not necessarily, it's very difficult to pick up young Brazilians who are talented because, again, they're so expensive. And they're quite loyal to the club that they come through. That tends to be the case. They don't really, like, if, you know, I can't exactly buy my best rivals wonder kid. They're not going to allow me to do that.
I know.
So 575k is in the budget still. But let's take a look at the tactic itself. Have we changed it? No, we haven't, but what we have done is we've got Jair in now as our permanent centre-back. Now, I want to play as many games as possible. Still only 17, but he's 6'4". He is very good. We need to give him the game time so that he can progress and be the player that we need him to be sooner rather than later, ideally. So that's what we're going to be looking at there. Schedule-wise, again, it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but we don't really know how much this competition is important to you Brazilians watching or you Santos fans watching. But what I can say is Marcus Leonardo is scoring a lot of goals against the teams you'd expect us to beat, but against the teams that we're not expected to beat, Sao Paulo and Palmeiras, Corinthians, the teams that are going to give us the hardest games, we're not doing very well. No. In that competition, then in the Paulistão Serie A, we are currently in mid-table. We're some way off Sao Paulo, who is top. Again, we don't quite know how important this section is. But there we go. So that's what we have so far. We'll simulate the second season then.
Another quick funny fact before you go. And in the 1930 World Cup, France travelling back to France, and they stopped off at Santos. So they asked if they could play a local team.
Yes.
So Santos obviously offered to play. They beat them 6-1. The French national side. They beat them 6-1. And they did not believe that they were a local side. So they went back to their clubhouse and they wanted proof of the players that played against them because they said it was Brazil in disguise.
Really?
They were sure they just played against a Brazilian national side.
Yeah.
And they said, no, this is our local side. So they had to go back to their clubhouse, prove it. You just beat us 6-1 with your local side.
That's mental.
And that was Santos. So yeah, brilliant.
Because I think in 1930, that was the Uruguayan World Cup, was it? The first one. I think France was one of the only European teams who actually travelled across to do it.
Yeah, and they probably went by boat because I imagine Santos is a port.
Yeah.
So that they probably sailed back and stopped there for a break.
Because I know, like, the UK nations, they didn't because they have their own competition and didn't believe in the World Cup at that point.
That's right,
And that's why Uruguay then boycotted the European World Cup and decided, no, we're not going because you didn't come to us.
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, history about the World Cup I've learnt recently from that.
6-1
beating France. Amazing. Right, okay, we'll simulate the second season then, see how we do. All right, second season, we've dropped down, unfortunately, into 6th place. Remember, we do have the Copa Libertadores from the season just gone, which obviously we would have played. Flamengo winning the league again, only losing 3 games. We were one of them.
Right,
we beat them at home 1-0. Nice. So we actually lost 14 games in total, so it was a lot more than what we had last season.
It's bad, isn't it?
64 points in total. Fluminense got relegated, which is a big side to get themselves relegated. Again, Cruzeiro came up, went straight back down, so it's a very difficult league, you must admit. Very difficult. We don't have any players in and around the player statistics that we'd like to be in there, especially obviously in the goals, assists, or average rating. So that's obviously something we need to grow into and try and build up. But let's take a look at the other competitions. How have we done? We were the runners-up in one cup competition. We only reached the 2nd round in the Copa Libertadores. So we'll go and have a look at this cup competition then. This was, we were beaten by Guarani, which is a full-blown like FA Cup style, I think. We lost across 2 legs. So it's 3-2 across 2 legs there on aggregate. Unfortunately, Marcus Leonardo got us there. Did we knock out any big clubs? Sao Paulo, we knocked them out in the semi-final. In the quarters, we knocked out Corinthians. So there were some good wins there.
Probably knocked the biggest teams out,
yeah,
really?
We knocked all the biggest teams out, and unfortunately lost to a team which finished a lot lower than us. It must have been. Unless they're not even in the league. That's going to be sad if they're not even in our league. They are not. They are in a 2nd division, which that's even worse. Right, so is that actually true? Am I going to find this out? Yeah, they're in the... that's awful from us. What a big stadium, though, for a club that's obviously in the 2nd division, wherever they are. They're in Serie B, yeah.
That poor bloke trying to watch that game, he can't even see where the goal was. I definitely need my binoculars for that game.
But fair play, they've gone on and won the cup. Now, the Copa Libertadores, we were knocked out in the 2nd round by Colo Colo, the biggest side in Chile. Flamengo went and won it again. That's back-to-back for them. They beat Racing Club there. I always laugh when I see the strongest. Do you remember when we used to do bets? Always used to do the strongest.
They'd always win, wouldn't
Bolivia. By a country mile as well, wasn't it? So yeah, we were knocked out on penalties by Colo Colo.
And that Bolivia side, is it?
Bolivar. Yeah.
They always used to win at home but lose away, if I remember rightly. For some reason they'd beat everybody at home. And we couldn't find out why it was always that way. Whether it was like snow on the pitch or just an horrible pitch or something, wasn't it?
We knocked out Boca from our group. So Santos and Melgar went through. I don't know where Melgar is from. That's unique. So that's Peruvian side. Knocked out
that stadium there, and the mountains. That's beautiful, isn't it?
We knocked out Boca Juniors of all clubs, which is fantastic, really, to do that. We won 3 games. We didn't beat Boca. I'm guessing we drew against them both times. Yeah, and we lost once to Melgar there at home. So overall, in that competition, although we had a great thing knocking out Boca Juniors, we did not get very far. Colo Colo knocking us out, and I don't think we will qualify next season. Maybe that's like a playoff or something.
Yeah.
Because we're at a different colour there in 6th place. Unfortunate. Now, let's take a look at the goals. Marcus Leonardo got himself 40.
So he improved, that's good.
Yeah, Angelo got 19 and 13. He also improved, and he's looking fantastic again. He keeps getting better and better, as does Marcus Leonardo. So we're kind of pinning our hats on these two. Daniel Ruiz played quite a lot of games. He got 10 goals and 10 assists. Of course, he joins us on a permanent deal now. But it's what we can do around these players, because obviously we're not doing as well as what we possibly could do. Jer has progressed as well. Progressed really nicely after playing 60 games this season, 61 in total. He's got 3 assists and a goal playing at centre-back. Not bad at all.
No.
Okay, budgets for next year, £2.3 million. But we do have a lot of players who are going to be leaving.
Yeah.
And I am negotiating to get a lot of players in.
Right.
We'll go forward then. 3rd season. Before we do, today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. What's a resolution that we can all keep to this year? Well, our friends at Manscaped have one, and that is better hygiene. And I can also help with that because I happen to have a 20% off plus free shipping code when you use manscaped.com using code OMEGA. The perfect way to instantly improve your hygiene is the Platinum Package 4.0. This includes the Lawnmower 4.0, and I use this on a weekly basis with that ceramic blade and skin-safe technology. And I ain't ever nicked my Bojangles. That's because it is designed to reduce the nicks and cuts of your delicate parts. It's waterproof and has a light on it so you can use it in the shower with all the lights turned off. If you really wanted to. The package also comes with a nose and ear trimmer, something I've really needed since turning 30, as well as a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, something I haven't needed. But I do use the body wash and deodorant, and I'm currently wearing the Manscaped boxers as we speak because they are sensational, and that handy travel bag is part of the essentials for every weekend when I'm traveling the country for wrestling. And there's a reason why in the men's locker room I have so many people coming up to me and questioning about Manscaped, and I've made so many sales. Just on my desk right here I have also the redefined perfume, I have the shears kit, and I even have the lip balm. I'm Manscaped out. There's so much on the website that you can use, and my code works for all of it. So once again, manscaped.com, use code OMEGA, you get 20% off plus free shipping. I'll leave a link at the top of the description. Right, now on the outs, I did sell quite a few players for a little bit of money each, and there was also another £1 million move there for Robson Rice, which happened throughout the season, which obviously I didn't have any control over. That's obviously just matching a release clause or something, but I have brought in some players. Now, first thing was a free transfer, Marlon Torres. He is a Colombian centre-back from Independiente Santa Fe, which is one of the biggest sides in Colombia, and he's very good indeed. Yeah. He's only 5'11" though, so he's not the tallest. I believe I've signed him before because I recognize those turkey teeth. 27 years of age, so he's got a good amount of time left. On a free transfer, we'll definitely take it. Now, the other free transfer, Agustin Almendra, is an Argentinian centre midfielder from Boca. So obviously we knock him out the competition. Yeah. Then we steal their player. Really good player who can play centre midfield in that kind of advanced forward role because he's really good going forward. And again, free transfer, can't complain. Already scored 1 goal and got 2 assists with such a good average rating. Yeah. It's quite surprising that they didn't play him more because in the 11 games that they played him, he did really well. Yeah. And the season before, he did even better, goals, scoring goals and assist-wise. So they were just happy just to kind of let him go. But I did bring in 2 more players. Now, the first one, and I spent a little bit of money here, £7.25 million. Nardoni, from Racing Club. He is a centre defensive midfielder, as I think is his best role, to be honest. And again, Argentinian. We've got him from Racing Club in the Argentinian League. I think he's fantastic. Again, they are going to be cheaper than Brazilians. It's going to be really difficult to sign good Brazilians like this, so I might have to dive into the Argentinian market a little bit more. But I did sign one of them, Thiago from Athletic Mineiro. He is a striker, so I'm looking for that synergy. Maybe we don't have enough options up there with Marcus Leonardo. He's only 22. He's 6'2". He gives us something different. He's good in the air, this guy. But he also likes to beat the offside trap. Has good off the ball.
It's good,
Yeah, very good. He has played 8 games so far, and he scored 4 goals and got 3 assists with 3 man of the matches.
Brilliant.
Cannot complain with that.
Definitely
and he's
not.
Already played in Europe. He actually moved to Ludogorets and scored 11 goals in 18 games. And then still moved back to Brazil. Yeah. So, really good. I think he left Cruzeiro when they got relegated. Let's take a look then. Tactical changes. Have there been any? Yes, there has. We have moved to this. So, now we're looking at more of a 4-2-2. Very Brazilian. Although sometimes they have the 2 wide in the narrow, don't they? They like playing that Brazilian box style. But we are going with 2 wide players because we have the options there. With 2 strikers, of course, now we have Thiago and Marcus Leonardo. If we picked our best 11, this is what it would look like. Now we have Thiago and in that complete forward role, Marcus Leonardo focusing solely on being a poacher. We've got Ruiz on the left, Angelo on the right. Nardoni and Fernandez comes in those 2 roles there. We also have quite a good synergy now with our left and right backs with their wingers ahead of them. And Marlon Torres comes straight into that role. But there is no Jair, but he is good enough to be rotation purposes because of the likes of injuries here for Marlon Torres. Jair will just come in and play straight away, and he's been doing really well.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see how it's been doing so far then, because we have played a number of games. I would say this is a success.
Yeah.
So we've had to play, as I mentioned, qualifying rounds for the Copa Libertadores, and we have qualified
quite comfortably as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we went through quite nice and easily there. Yeah. So we played 2 rounds there. We've won every single one of those games, only conceded 1 goal. So we have been given our group. And the only result we have lost is against Palmeiras in a 4-2 loss. We actually got 2 goals in the 91st and 96th minute. It's just unfortunate, really, isn't it? One of those games. So let's take a look at our group then. Now, you might not recognise a lot of these Nils old boys. So that spring a little something for you,
It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
That's Lionel Messi's first team.
Oh, is it?
Before he moved to Barcelona as a youngster, yeah. So he was from the Nils old boys like junior academy. We got Guarani also in Brazil. So it's obviously Libertadores is quite a unique competition. There's not as many different countries, so you might get drawn against other Brazilian sides in the group. And then we've got Canto Loa, which is in Peru. So we've got a group that I would say we should be going through.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'll go with that.
Okay, so far in the pre-competition thing, which looks like it's going on a little bit longer this time, we are in second place. We didn't check at the end of the last second season, did we? But again, we didn't win it. Sao Paulo won it. 21 points we have so far from the 8 games, with Red Bull Bragantino, which is in the first position. But we are doing very well in the player ratings and everything like that. So we'll simulate this third season.
Another quick one now for you. Just
okay.
Talk about records. I just think this is an amazing record.
Right.
Attendances for a player playing for one team.
Yeah.
I think we're obviously going to know who it is, aren't we?
Neymar? No. It's Pele.
We know it's Pele.
Yeah.
So we actually played 1,106 games.
Yeah.
For Santos. Guess who's the leading goal scorer?
I wonder.
But how many goals do you reckon he scored, though?
Well, there's a myth about this, isn't there?
1,106 games.
Yeah, there's a myth about this because do you remember when Ronaldo was catching in, CR Ronaldo, and it was almost like Pele started adding on goals?
Yeah.
Which he just like, well, I was in a friendly and this also counts. So
1,106 games.
Yeah.
His record is as scoring down as 1,096 goals.
Yeah, mental.
So he's only, 10 goals away from every game that he played in.
Yeah.
That is some record. Over 1,000 games.
Yeah.
You know, that
which is mental
record.
because usually you see that type of like goal scoring record when they're in their prime years, but not when they are really young and getting into the game, but also
he
right
started
at the
in
end of their
1956
career.
and he finished for 1974.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of years that he's played, which is good.
Good 18 years there.
Yeah. But
all for
record.
one club.
That's what you're talking about. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? That is just amazing.
All for one club, obviously, and Brazil.
Do we reckon Harry Kane will stay with Spurs for one club for his whole
Really
season?
bollocks. There's so many reports that he's already gone. Me and Dad's already had this discussion.
Yeah.
I said to him, well, who do you think he's going to go to? And straight away he went, United.
Yeah, I think he's going to go now.
So the only thing that I think, the reason why I think it is United is because I don't think he'll go anywhere else, and he wants to stay in the Premier League to beat Alan Shearer's record.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go Chelsea or Arsenal, and that's too local to him.
He can't do that.
He definitely won't do that. No. Liverpool, I don't think, could afford him or would go for him because of who they've already brought in.
Man City's not going to want
Man City's not going to want Haaland and Harry Kane. And Man United need a striker.
Desperately need a striker.
Yeah, I think it's either Newcastle or United, but I don't think Newcastle will buy him because they've already got 2 strikers and they're going for more of that like 24 age. The guys
when we did speak about it, I did mention about Newcastle, didn't I? And I just don't think Newcastle are ready for Harry Kane.
No.
Because Harry Kane wants to win
now. Yeah.
Where I think Man United, which I don't want to say this, your new manager, he's just turned it around for you, isn't he?
Yeah.
And what a job he's doing there. And I think they're almost ready. They
Yeah.
need 1, maybe 2 outstanding players, and they'll be hard to beat.
And especially if the Glazers do leave, and I mean, we're recording this sort of midway through March, like a couple of weeks before it comes out. There are still like talks that they might stay, which would be the worst thing ever. But favourites are at the minute is the Qatari bid, who want to clear the debt and they want to get it done quickly because they want to make signings in the summer. So they want to, like, obviously bring in people and make the side better. Harry Kane could definitely do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But that's obviously a one-club man who won't become a one-club man. He's had loan spells, hasn't he, when he was coming through.
Yeah.
But he was always officially on Spurs' books. Unlike Pele, who stayed at one club the whole way through and played every single game.
Another quick one, though. Santos became the first Globetrotters football team to go around playing friendlies everywhere. They actually stopped the war in Africa.
That's crazy.
Because they obviously had a friendly there to play, and the two sides of the war, I don't know what war it was called or anything, wanted to watch this game, so they'd come to a truce where they decided to stop the war for these 2 days. They watched the game, both sets of people at war watched the game, then Santos flew out again, and then they carried on with the war.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Mental. Absolutely crazy. Okay, let's simulate this third season then. See how we do with Santos. Right, third season, second place.
Take that.
With the best of the rest, right behind Flamengo, who obviously have the best side right now. So 75
7
points.
points, isn't it, still?
Still 7 points, but we have closed the gap. That was 15 points for other teams there. We lost 9 games this season. Not one of them was to Flamengo, though. Ooh. They lost 4, and one of them was to us when they played the away leg. So we obviously have drawn against them 0-0 when we played away from home. So that's actually a great season for us. Again, we have Daniel Ruiz is the only player in the assist tally there with 10. He has the most assists across the season. We don't have the goal scorer, which is quite low as well, only at 14. But we do have 2 players in the player of the match. Daniel Ruiz and Angelo are 2 wingers who are obviously supplying the goods for our 2 strikers up top. This new formation, I think, has done a good job for us. So, not bad. Let's take a look at other competitions though. Copa Libertadores, the Brazilian Cup, and we need to remember to check that first trophy as well. I don't think we did win that. Let's take a look then. How have we done? Copa Libertadores winners.
Oh, get in.
Copa Libertadores winners. So we'll check how many times we've actually won it before, but we have beaten Sao Paulo in the final, so that's going to be obviously a rival for us.
Yeah.
Daniel Ruiz with 2, Thiago with 1, and Marcus Leonardo with 1. Fantastic.
We actually went
1-0 down. Yeah, quite early on, but we've pulled it back. They equalised to make it 2-2. No, they didn't. No, we went 3-1 up.
Yeah.
They made it 3-2.
And we scored a minute later. Look.
Yeah, minute later, just like, oh, you wanted to get back in the game, did you? No.
Unlucky.
What a performance that was. Daniel Ruiz got himself player of the match, so from a loanee into a permanent deal. Good signing that was, because it's won us the Champions League of South America, which is phenomenal. That's fantastic. Now, the other competition looks like we lost there in the final on penalties in this. The reason why I don't think that people really care about it is because the board are not judging us on how we do. So it's almost like, oh, did you get to final? Well done. Yeah, so that's not bad at all. But if we do take a look at the league, Santos, we actually finished first on the same points, and then Corinthians beat us in the playoff final. So not bad at all. 4th round though in the Brazil Cup, but we are the winners of that, so that's the big one.
Take that. Yeah,
that is the big one. We look at Santos' side, the Copa Libertadores, how many times they have won it? They have won it 3 times before that. 62, 63, who was playing for him then?
Yeah, Pele
in his prime, and 2011.
Yeah,
who was playing from then? Neymar.
Oh yeah,
I think it was Neymar. Yeah, that was the year he moved. I think he moved in 2012 to Barcelona. I'm pretty sure of it. I'll fact check it, but I'm sure that was he won the Copa Libertadores at Santos in 2011. I've got loads of comments now like, you're wrong. But I've got a feeling it was. What a season. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's take a look at our winning squad then. 31 goals from Thiago. What a signing that was. 26 from Marcus Leonardo. He is now wanted by Palmeiras and Al Shabab, who have money obviously, but don't have the pedigree that maybe a big European side would have. But this is what I'm most impressed with.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Lucas Braga there with 22 goals. I mean, Lucas Braga's come off from out of nowhere. He has been playing on that left-hand side or up front when we needed him to. He's not really that good. He's been a squad player, but he scored 22 goals this season.
When you've got 4 players that banging in 20 plus goals. You're going to win something.
Yeah.
You've got to by then, and you really 4
so
players.
Angelo got 20 goals and 16 assists, and then Daniel Ruiz got 25 assists in total, and Almendra got 14 assists as well from midfield. Well, yeah. Really good season for everybody. Okay, let's go forward then and have a look at what we do season 4 with the £2 million that we have after winning the biggest competition in South America. So players out, we sold 1 player for £1.3 million. He was the Uruguayan centre midfielder, age 29 now, so I think it was a good time to cash in because he wasn't exactly playing all of the games with obviously Nardoni, who we signed last year. We got a couple of good Brazilians who also play centre mid, but we've obviously released a few other players as well, which has freed up a little bit of money for us. So if we take a look at the 2 players that we did sign, one of them was a free transfer. We have João Paulo Ramirez. He plays in like a number 10 role, but can also play up top or on the left as a free transfer. Can't complain with that. He's 27. His value now is really high as well. Yeah. So he comes from Nacional in Colombia. And then finally we have Yermes Perez Tica, £1.4 million. This one is a bit of a gamble, if I'm honest, because I noticed obviously that our 3rd striker was playing so many games because of the amount of games that we've got. So I signed somebody.
with a team like this, you've got to build a big squad, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got to have that big squad thing. So,
absolutely.
And with the age, you're bringing in another 21-year-old, so ideal for the Minion patrons, isn't it?
Absolutely. Patreon members, you get the end. You get this at the end of the rebuild, the save game file at the end of the 5 seasons. Dad's going to set you a task and see how you do with it. That's on the £5 tier. Thank you to all the Patreon members who do support me. You help me keep doing this full time and pay for the editors. So that's a good incentive, if you will, to if you'd like to support me. Page.com/Omega Gaming. But that's one of the perks. You get the save game file. You can use this guy if he does get really good and get better. However, there are some players in the youth academy that we might want to highlight because they are coming into their own now, and we have some absolute monsters coming through. Jouari, 18 years of age. He looks great.
Yeah.
He looks really good. There's a few others as well. There's Pescarolo, who looks quite good in the CDM role. There's some fantastic players coming through, and I might even have a couple in the actual squad itself. If we sort by age, there's a couple here that I've even played. Claudio Mart, who is a centre midfielder or attacking midfielder, is really good. Washington, I think, was already there, but there's another one as well. So we'll take a look at that soon. So let's take a look then. Tactic-wise, I don't think we really need to change it. We just won the Champions League of the Copa Libertadores for South America, so we don't really need to change that. If we did take a look at the pick best 11 though, Thiago and Marcus Leonardo up top, they've got a lovely little relationship going on there. It's basically the same team, but with Jair this time instead of Marlon Torres, because Jair has just got better and better. He's 19 now and looks phenomenal. So really good starting 11. That's just what we needed. Schedule wise, it's not been great, but we have only like dropped points to like Corinthians and teams like that, and lost to Palmeiras. We've gone through, and we are in the Copa Libertadores again, obviously, because we've won the competition. Yeah. We're not going to be taken out of that. So let's take a look at our group then. Sporting Cristal, Penral, and Junior. So we've got 3 different nations now instead of just the Brazil like it was last year. So that's going to be a difficult one, but we should be favourites to go through after winning the competition. Okay.
Another quick one?
Go on then.
Records again?
Records. I wonder who's going to break it.
Santos are full of records. 1998.
Yeah.
Santos became the first team ever to score 10,000 goals.
That's a mental statistic.
They're on 12,000 goals now.
Yeah.
But yeah, in 1998, and then they were voted best team ever on the FIFA. So 10,000 goals since they've become professional side.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll simulate this 4th season. Let's see how we do. 4th season, we dropped down into 6th place again.
Long way back behind as well.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Flamengo once again winning the league, but it's closer again at the top.
How many times have they won the league now then?
That's 4, 5 in a row.
Is that every time we've done it?
4 times in a row. They've won it every single season that we have played so far. Not good from us.
No.
60 points. It's a lot less than what we were last season. We've lost 14 games this year, which is so many more than what we did last year. It just seems like maybe our heads weren't in it. Athletic Mineiro got relegated. They only won the league 5 seasons ago, and now they're relegated. So, again, that's what happens in this league. It's very strange. Botafogo was the other one, I think, is in the 2nd division.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked us to do Botafogo, I think, in the comments section. So, not bad. Well, it's not great. It's not good. Not good at all.
Disappointing.
Not good.
Disappointing.
It is disappointing.
Unless we've won something.
How close we got.
Unless we've won something.
That's it. Did we win something? We are the winners of the Sudamericana, which I think is the Super Cup of the Copa Libertadores and Sudamericana.
Well, okay, yeah.
So we were the Super Cup winners of South America. That's the only game you play in that. In the Copa Libertadores, we only got to the quarter-final. We were knocked out by Palmeiras, unfortunately, who didn't go on to the final. Botafogo won it. I think they just got promoted because I don't remember seeing them until then.
No, I didn't.
So they've only just been promoted a couple of seasons ago, and they've gone on and won it.
Who knocked out Flamengo then?
It must be in the semi-finals. Botafogo did, and Velez from Argentina knocked out Palmeiras.
Result, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic from them. And then we only made it to the quarter-final there in the Brazilian Cup. In the league of this, the first thing that we play in the league table, we finished down in 5th place. I imagine we got to like the semi-final. Yeah, we were knocked out by Sao Paulo on penalties. Not good.
No.
Squad-wise, let's take a look. Goals. Thiago only got 35. And Daniel Ruiz got 18. Angelo got 16.
I mean, that's still
There's
good.
somebody missing.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? I mean, that's still good when you look at it, but it's not because we had players. All our top four players was in 20 and 37.
Yeah.
Last season, so. But yeah, we got a player missing there, haven't we?
There's a player missing, and that's because FC Porto, throughout the season, signed Marcus Leonardo. Yeah, £14 million. And he's gone on and he's played really well for them. 14 goals in 16 games for them.
Yeah.
That's insane. But that is...
I mean, in that season that
what
we
happens,
sold him,
isn't it?
he had scored 17 goals in 26 games for us. Because
so
that's the
far.
same season, isn't it?
Yeah. So it could have been a fantastic year.
Yeah.
But again, because of the rebuild where you simulate throughout the season, you don't see these things happen halfway through. But that is a logical step, isn't it, for Brazilian players? Going to Porto, going to Benfica.
Yeah.
That happens quite a lot in South America.
I mean, it's a good amount of money for us. You can understand why the clubs took it.
Yeah.
But it was disappointing for us as well.
Definitely. But that gives us, for next season, £16 million to try and bring somebody in.
How often can you replace a player like that?
It's difficult. He's very good. He is very good indeed, and he is young. But that, obviously, now we need to look at these players coming through and think, right, which one of you wants to step up into that role? Which one of you can step up? Because Juari looks really good there. We need somebody to step up into that role. See, obviously, if they can fill the boots of Marcus Leonardo with the £16 million that we've got.
Well, there's a good Argentinian player coming through.
Yeah, that's it. Who's cheaper? We'll see. Let's have a look. 5th season. We also sold Eduardo Bauman for £2.5 million, but he was kind of like our third choice centre-back now. Obviously, we got Marlon Torres and Jair as our first centre-backs. So I think £2.5 million is actually quite good bringing him in. And it's allowed us to really push the budget out because we spent £17 million in total. I did go to Argentina, as we can see. So the first player, Lucas Gonzalez. He is a centre midfielder who can play in quite a few different roles, actually, because he can also play on the right. But look how well-rounded he is.
Yeah, that's a good squad player.
Definitely. 25 as well, so he's kind of
off
in his
the ball,
prime.
17, that's really good as well.
Fantastic. So you'd see this guy at European clubs. That's how good I think he actually is. Lucas Gonzalez takes the number 7 role. Let's do this by how much we spent. Paulinho at Mineiro. Obviously, they got relegated. Yeah. And I thought, well, those players aren't going to want to stay there, are they? So I went and signed 2 of them. The first one, Paulinho, is a real player, 25 years of age. I really like this guy.
He's a good squad player, really.
You might recognise him as well. He played for Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
So I remember him quite well in those leagues, doing stuff in the Bundesliga. £3.3 million after he had quite a bad season, obviously getting relegated with Mineiro. Big move that was to Leverkusen, £16 million. He was touted as quite a talent. We also went to Rosario Central. Where is that based? Argentina, who have some of the best kits, by the way.
Yeah.
That third kit is absolutely stunning.
Lovely, yeah.
Let's take a look at who we bought from them. Alejo Velez. He's a striker, just what we need. Great off the ball, great finishing, first touch, decisions, composure, just what we need. Maybe a little bit slow, but he's 6'2", so he's also good at heading. Yeah, that's what I quite like about him. From Argentina, of course, £5.25 million. He has hit the ground running. 10 goals in 7 games.
Brilliant.
He only got 11 last season. He has an 8.1 average rating so far.
That's outstanding as well, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Then the final player, which was the last player we actually brought in on the 24th of the 1st, Mateus from Mineiro again, £8.5 million. He is a new gen, and he is a very good centre midfielder. Yeah. Only age 20, 6'2". Absolutely insane. I really do think his player traits as well are incredible. Great vision. Physically, he's a monster as well. That pace, stamina, agility in that centre mid is so important. Obviously, we signed for £8.5 million as a centre mid. He scored 3 and assisted 2. It's good. Really good player. If you want to have Mateus in your side on the Patreon, well, I better hope he doesn't get sold in the season that we have right now. Tactically then, there's a couple of other players that I need to show you, but I want Mateus playing that box-to-box midfielder role every single game. We've got loads now of really good centre midfielders, but if I went to best 11, he gets taken out and Nardoni gets put in there with Zancello, who was obviously there before. Paulinho goes up front with Velez, Angelo, Ruiz, the usual lineup that we would see. But there is other players that are in and around the squad that we do have to mention. a 16-year-old, Jefferson. The guy is 6'5". 16. And he is decent as well. Like, he's not quite there yet, but he has an ambitious personality. He is decent. I like him. I'll put him in the first squad with the thing where he plays for the youth, the under-20s at the same time.
Yeah.
In the under-20s, he's already scored 17 in 10. As a 16-year-old playing for the under-20s. So he's a monster. 6'5", absolutely insane. We've got a couple of really good, talented youth academy prospects here that's coming in as well. There's one here, which is not even Brazilian. He's from Bolivia and Brazil. And again, he's another striker. And again, he's good. Miguel Suarez. There's just unbelievable amounts of players that are coming through. So there's a lot to use if you were to take this over. And a lot for our assistant manager to use if we obviously get late into different competitions, and we need that squad depth. Schedule then, we haven't lost a game so far. This is it. Come on, this is it.
Looking good.
We are stuffing teams as well. Corinthians is the only game we didn't win, which was a 0-0 draw, so we're keeping those clean sheets. If you look here, in this February month, we only conceded 3 goals there, and look how many we scored. It's like we had Pele. Thiago, so the guy who we're going to see his name quite a lot, and Velez as well, obviously, who scored quite a few goals. Great start. Definitely. However, our Copa Libertadores group is cruel. Ooh. Sao Paulo and River Plate.
Oh, that's an odd.
Yeah, that's two very difficult sides.
Teams in Argentina, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's 3 of some of the biggest South American clubs ever.
Yeah,
and they're all in one group in the Copa Libertadores. So that's going to be very difficult for us to progress and to win. Maybe though we can do something in the main Brazilian league instead.
Right, my last one.
Your last one.
This is why I've got this kit on.
I knew it.
This is why I've got the Plymouth Argyle kit on. In 1973, Santos came to Plymouth and played against the Plymouth side at home park in front of 37,600 fans.
Yeah.
And we beat them 3-2. Get in. Pele was playing as well.
He scored a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah,
Pele?
he did. We went 3-0 up by half time. And then they came out. They weren't happy with the referee, mind you. And the second goal, I think it was a bit of a challenge on the goalkeeper, and it was a bit dubious, I thought, really. They said he was offside, which he could have been as well, but he also looked like he took the keeper as well.
So no VAR in 1970?
No, they weren't, no. But what a result that was. But I got a lovely... I mean, my dad went to the game.
Yeah,
with
got a
his
program,
dad.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. We can't find it anywhere, can we? We tried looking for it.
Yeah.
But he went with his dad, so my granddad was there as well and watched the game. They said it was absolutely brilliant. And Pele was fantastic even then. Yeah. And that was a year before he retired.
Yeah.
But the story I got with this, brilliant story. They've obviously agreed to play Plymouth Argyle at home park. Hour before kickoff, because they realised, Santos this is, that there was a lot more fans than they thought there was going to be, they decided they wanted more money. And they're in the changing rooms and they said they're not playing unless they get paid more money.
I like what you did there. They're not playing.
Yeah, you like it, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd get that one. They wanted an extra £2,500.
Right.
Back in then, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. And the chairman's gone, no chance. So they've just sat in the change room and said, we're not coming out then. So apparently the chairman's gone up to his office and he's looked out the window, and I don't think he realised how many fans was going to come to this game. He's looked out the window and it is heaving.
Yeah.
And he's thinking to himself, now, I've got to go out there and tell these people that the game's off.
Yeah.
Or I pay him £2,500. And it's going to have to come out of his own pocket at the time. Because he wasn't sure how much money the game was going to take. So he's thinking about it, he's looking at it, he's thinking, I've got to do it. So he's gone back in there, and he was crafty the way he'd done it. He's gone in there and agreed to pay the extra £2,500, providing they turn up the following day to a presentation. So he made them honour that, because they said they were going to do it, but he made sure that he honoured it. And they said, yeah, okay, so they came out and played the game, which was good, really. But but they've been on the home park. And we beat Pele.
Unbelievable.
The Green Army.
Yeah.
Get in.
And we were not good back then either. Okay, 5th and final season. How can we do with this Santos side? Can we win the league? Maybe we can get out of this Copa Libertadores group. Let's find out. Final season. We've done it. We've done it by 2 points as well. We overcame Flamengo at the top. 79 points. Only lost 7 games. We did lose to them as well.
Yeah.
We lost a fair amount of home games, by the way. Maybe we need a bigger stadium.
Yeah.
And we drew 7 games there, but we've managed to do it, which is a bit of a relief, honestly, because Flamengo there getting 5 in a row.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely mental. Thiago scored the most goals. He also had the highest average rating. Of course, he won us a couple of Libertadores, so unbelievable signing bringing him in. And Angelo got the most assists there. João Lucas.
I reckon we've done a double here.
You think?
I reckon we must have done. We were doing that well to win the league, is what we must have done something else.
Well, let's find out. Competitions? No.
Oh.
We did win the first league thing.
Oh, right. So we won two leagues in a row.
Which nobody really cares about.
No.
But we won both of the leagues in Brazil.
Yeah.
The pre-league and the main one. We are champions of Brazil both times. We got to the quarterfinals of the Copa Libertadores, knocked out by Flamengo, who beat us in the away leg.
Well, at least we got our own back on them.
Yeah, so that's a shame. Who actually lost in the final against Vasco da Gama on penalties. Yeah, unfortunate. So not bad. That's, we got out of the group, which is quite surprising. We'll take a look at the group actually while we're here and see. We come up second, knocking out River. Sao Paulo went through, who only lost one game.
We got the same record as them as well, so we must have done it on games against them.
Yeah, no, because we only beat Sporting Cristal twice. We didn't actually beat Boca at River, sorry. So we lost against them once. It must be on goal difference. Same goal difference. I don't really know. Goals scored probably. Well, it looks like we scored quite a lot of goals. 5-1, 3-2, 3-2, whereas they 2-0, 2-1, 3-2. Probably on goals scored.
Yeah.
Thiago also has got the most goals in the competition from that. So he's had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Let's take a look then at the squad. The final squad. 44 goals for Thiago. And second
33.
is 33. Angelo is going to be very difficult to keep hold of. He is wanted by Flamengo.
I mean, you're going down to 5 or 6 players in 10. 10 goals there, 10 goals there. So you're looking at 130 goals.
Yeah, between like 7 players.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because Lucas Gonzalez even got 10 goals, 10 assists from the centre defensive midfield. Mateus, obviously, who we just signed, he is looking in mental now. He also got 10 goals, 6 assists. Paulinho got 13 and 15. Yeah, it's hell of a season.
Yeah,
really is a fantastic season, goals wise and everything like that. What a team that you've taken over here. So, what do you think then, Dad? What's going to be the target for the Patreon members in the next 5 years?
It's really hard, isn't it, this one, because it's such an hard league. All I'm going to just say is match what we just done and win that last league that we just won.
Yeah,
that top league. And if you can win a double, you've beaten us.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we never won a double, did we?
No, we did.
We won the double leagues, but not the cup or the.
You've got to win that league with a cup. You beat us.
Yeah,
and that's your challenge, to try and beat us.
And the final thing, obviously, we all want to know: any Santos fans?
Yeah.
What's the food like at your stadium, which only holds 14,000?
I want to go one even. What's the women like at that stadium?
You dirty pervert.
We like our Brazilians.
Speak for yourself. Right, okay, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next Monday for another rebuild. Remember, keep all your suggestions down in the comments section if you want to have a look at the Patreon, if you want to take this save on. The £5 tier, you can do that. Patreon.com/MegaLukeGaming. And if you want to check out Manscaped and Sport Me as by supporting my sponsors, you can also do that. That'll be at the top of the description as well, using my code OMEGA at checkout.
That button as well for subscribers.
Yes,
100,000 target to go for.
We got the target. Don't think we're going to hit it, but if you can help us, that would be amazing. Down in the comment section as well, you can chat to Dad in there should you wish. We'll see you next Monday for another one. Bye-bye.